and we're doing more of the Pandæmonium raids. I did say they were Myth of the Realm the past couple times, but they're the Pandæmonium raids. Final Fantasy 14, Endwalker, all that. Whew. Good shit. So this is where the research conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms are Thanos and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. That's love, right? No. Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe we can forgo introductions unless I have misread you. Paragon. Who is Paragon? La Brea. Passively perceptive. Yes, I am La Brea of the Confiscation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. Back and wait. What is this? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remained unaffected. Such thin ether, and in a unfamiliar composition besides. It's of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Arch Thanos shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother, you would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Arch Thanos. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Aaron, Thanos, wait. There is a question I must ask first, needs ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as you are you. I have my answer. The Larabrea that I knew took pride in the convocation and would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Themis, what are you saying? Larabrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real Larabrea would never call me by the name Themis. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. Okay. What? Who? "'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Brea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Arch Thurnos, listen well. I am half Aestos, and it is I whom you should call father. What in the name of creation? We would do well to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order. Elidibus, let us return to safety so you may provide it. Ah, that sounds more like the La Brea I know. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Brea said, I am Elidibus, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I know a thing or two about deception myself. That is reassuring to hear. The burdens we bear are heavy enough without adding a grudge to their weight. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do so as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Please help him. Save him. I still don't understand. I see Elidibus has chosen to keep odd company. Such a vexing composition of ether you possess. As you are aware by now, I am known as Elidibus, and my dear friend Azim and I detected irregularities in Pandæmonium. We decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure La Brea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azim nor I have ever met you in the flesh, you came with your highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to herself was out there amused Azim to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in her heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Fanat, who held the position of Azim previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She, too, now dons the white robes as an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware, though, I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. I admit my own grasp on what just occurred is somewhat tenuous. Doubtless La Habrea can elucidate matters for us. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea, and truth be told, I had hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Brea? And why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandæmonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the abnormalities occurring within Pandæmonium, including the fact that Azim and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywords stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. Well, Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity. it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation, not without good reason at least. As you all know, the name La Rea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hesados has claimed that type for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandæmonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster onto our star. As chief keyword of Pandæmonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Brea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandæmonium if its existence posed even the remotest risks to our people. Yet, as you can see by Erythonos' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azam and I grappled with the conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. 'Twas the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the costs. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You spent nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Io has stood against. Yo, is it a being of such ether as I have ever seen? What are you? She is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Yo. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. Now, that's too soon to be give up on saving the others. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestus, and I highly doubt La Brea has been forthcoming with the truth. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodos. He must be made to see that there's a merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even La Brea would be compelled to listen. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as themist can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust that you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandæmonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abysso, entering any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Yo's might and Archthonos' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandæmonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Yo, come find me when you're finished. Erythronos is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray, lend a ear to his troubles, that their weight might be lightened. Despite recent developments, our plan remains unchanged. Pray call me Themis for the time being. It shall put us all in the correct mindset, and in fact, I may be coming to prefer that name. You have done all you can with words. Only your actions can convince me now. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Brea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen to escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Thanos has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandæmonium were reduced to rubble. I mean, to uncover the truth behind his works, the truth of my mother. While La Brea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hesphados would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Brea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, Yo? Does the La Brea you know have any regard for the lives of others, or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? It was my word that he wants to use my ally as a vessel for his own twisted ends. I have no idea what he might be like in this age. That's the right answer. That's the truth. This age? Just how long has it been since you last met? Regardless, I'd like you to try and view him as he is now. Another opinion would be much appreciated. But it is plain there is much to consider. Thank you, Yo. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion when he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Brea that we are capable of saving Pandæmonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, you would know more about those depths than any of us, and seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford, Yo, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and you may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. Researchers of different layers seldom contact one another unless work is involved. And I know next to nothing about the keyword of Abyssos. Any morsels of information La Brea can offer would be a boon. Despite recent developments, our plan remains unchanged. Pray call me Themis. Oh. Aaron Thanos appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Asm. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I have seen, even amongst the countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Asm never ceases to surprise. previous Asm was much the same, and taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elizabeth have conducted yourself in this matter. The true danger of Asim's nature is its tendency to infect all those she comes into contact with. Emexelk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however, only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it? Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keywords reach as far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they have been transferred to the deeper circles. Yet, Hesperaldos would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of Hegemon, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there is something else at work. If I had a hazard to guess, I would say that's because she's already been twisted into a Prometheus, doubtless against her will. Yo, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Archthanos. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Okay. Hegemon was a woman of reason and logic. She would never be swayed by Hephaestos' wretched schemes. I hope she was not made to suffer overmuch. Now we prove our strength. Only then can we free the other warders and unveil the hidden truth in Pandæmonion's shadows. Let us not change the strategy that has served us so well thus far. Bring Hegemon the Helio, and Aranthenos and I shall enter her when the time is right. Okay, I can still enter the 6th circle. That's good. What's my currency? 337. That's so close. But I think I'm gonna call it here. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. did a bunch of things to stream. The video's a little short, it's only 43 minutes, but I've been streaming for about 2 hours. Thanks for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one. I might stream later tonight, who knows. Be easy, and thank you. Peace.